Hey, it's Cooper here. Another session of my opinion. Hey, it's kind of funny when you look at the different platforms that people have to speak on. And after watching Westminster last night, just looking at the overall better job that the event did in trying to share better information about educating the public, I want to congratulate Rollardo for that win and his interview in reference to talking about reputable breeders. I really appreciate the fact that he did that. The hard part about it is getting the information to share out to the general public. We as the dog show people and dog training people and dog grooming population have a small niche group, and we've been talking amongst ourselves for a number of years. And the information that we've shared amongst each other, yep, we have the gripes and complaints about what pedigrees look like, what pedigree means, and what a reputable breeder is, and what a good vet is, and what good animal care is. We have all those discussions amongst ourselves, but those discussions don't go viral on the internet so that the general public who buys the mixed breed and wants it to be a certain breed, who buys the dream or the story of a dog, and they're actually bringing a damaging animal into their household. So with this post, in my opinion, I think we as dog people have to do a better job of passing on the information, sharing the things that we want to say, sharing the griping and complaining that we've done in the past about bad breeding practices, bad pedigrees, mixed breeds being sold as better. I understand that the veterinarian sciences will never get on board with talking about that information about saying not to go with breeders, not to go to rescues. And the reason why that they won't do that is because it makes them money. And it's understandable. There's business in life that's important, and the hard part about business is you have to take your money from your money sources that they are. And as you see things are dwindling as far as respect for technology goes, as far as education goes, the more technology that we have, it seems to be that the less people want to educate themselves, or the less fact checking that they do. Well, the belief is it's on the internet, so therefore that makes it so. So we as the dog individual people, we AKC, UKC, IKC, all the parent clubs, all the breed clubs, I challenge them all the 4-H groups, everybody, the judges, every single judge that has a breeder judging assignment should get online and, one, preach about their experience, two, share with the general public what it takes to have the knowledge, and three, challenge the AKC to do a better job of bringing in more youth, do a better job of looking outside their wheelhouse, do a better job of looking besides what they've always done in the past, and taking in, for example, interview myself. They can call me in, and I'd be more than willing to help them on ways to bring in new industry and new business into the AKC in a positive way, rather than trying to repeat and do the same old thing the same old way. The hard part about it, the number one reason for my opinion in the reach out from the dog world, is the dog world has sat back for the last 40 years, myself included, thinking that the public who truly wants to know the information would seek me out and come to me. Well, the truth of the matter is it's exactly the opposite. They don't seek you out, they don't find you, and they come to the person who yells the loudest. And the person who yells the loudest is usually the person with the least amount of knowledge. The person who yells the loudest is usually the person that has the most to gain if people find out who they are, or the most to lose when they find out that they don't know anything or they're unaccomplished. The dog world is the only industry where a professional who actually seeks out the knowledge of being the best, who actually trains and does the disciplines, go against an individual who haphazardly throws it together and accidentally wins. Now, I'm not saying that happens to all, but it happens to a lot. And if you also look at the majority of your professionals in the industry started out as laymen or dog owners that perpetuated to learn what that skill was. There is no true organizing body that says this is where your degree is in dog education. The AKC doesn't even provide that. So when it comes to a professional in the dog world, they're actually on the average just a dog owner. Myself, when I went out to become a professional in the dog world, I went to college for the degree of animal science, and the reason why I went for animal science because they didn't have a canine science program. It was as close as I could get. When I wanted the dog training aspect, I sought every school that was out there, but I found nothing but fly-by-night internet schools. So I joined the military that had the only recognized national, international school on the planet. It taught basic obedience. It taught drug dog work. It taught search work. Now you have a lot of different schools that have broken away from, that are public sector, that do a fine job, but they're still not recognized by anybody else but themselves. So after going through the Air Force and going through all the dog schools that they had available, I went and worked with Richard Walters to have the retrieving background. I worked with Bob Gates in order to have the obedience background. I worked with Kathy, I can't remember her last name, herding dogs, and a lot of night hunt guys. So I worked with every individual that I could find as a pro, field trial wise, retriever trial wise, hunt test wise, shoot to retrieve wise. Working with vets, was a vet tech for many years for Brooklyn Pet Hospital, just to have the knowledge of being a overall all knowledgeable dog professional. The hard part about being a dog professional is people don't know that you exist, and you have those who, because of belief and internet, have come up with all kinds of theory science that get people in a lot of trouble, but that information is not passed on because there's not enough breed information that's being passed on positively. There's not enough dog training education that's being passed on positively. Yup, you have Leaderberg that has a great magazine and great product. Yup, you have Keeper Colors who have a great product, but you have individuals that are in AKC positions that aren't educated in training that say this item is a bad item versus that item is a bad item, but they have had no training or no skill and to have the position to say so. Just because you've been in the industry or business for a long period of time doesn't mean because you haven't sought out other pieces of information make you an expert. I watch people with breeding programs and their dogs' rears are terrible, and you go, your dog's got a perpetual limp in every single one of your puppies. Well, my dog's great because it matches the standard. Why? How? Because of kennel blindness. Because kennel blind is the definition of no continuation of education. So when you look at the information that I want to share, you look at the information that needs to get out. We as dog people need to not say the show dogs are better than the field dogs. Both of those need to come together. Obedience dogs are better than conformation dogs. Both of those need to come together. And every single dog should be cross-trained in just about every single venue in order for us to be able to claim that our dogs are champions or the best. If a dog is labeled a champion, it should also have some other type of title giving a temperament on the back end of their pedigree. The reason why I say that is because it allows them to be better dogs. It also allows the handlers, trainers, and owners to have more knowledge in what their dogs are capable of, so that therefore when people get those dogs in the general public, they have better aptitude to be able to train them. Well, that's my opinion. Feel free to share, make this go viral. Thanks for tuning in. Make this go viral. Thank you.